Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fajar Febrian from Class C, English Literature 2022. And today, I would like to presenting my research proposal with the title is The Metaphor Used by John Soyeon and G Idol in the song Hua English version. The title of my research proposal is The Metaphor Used by John Soyeon and G Idol in the song Hua English version. And I would like start the presentation by explaining to you about the background. In the background, there are four keys. There are four elements that include in the background. And they are the important, the urgency, the visibility, and the novelty. And I will start by explaining to you about the important part in the background of this research. So the importance of this research is the researcher is trying to help people become more adept at utilizing figurative language, especially metaphors, and to make things seem more important than they actually are. Next, about the urgency part. And this study addresses the problem of metaphors that people still find difficult to understand, even misinterpret about metaphors about figurative language. In this instance, the metaphors are those that are frequently employed to express deeper romantics related themes. And about visibility, this research is conducted to provide additional searches for the future for anyone who needs searches or other interests that may be related to what will be researched. And the last, about the novelty of this research. So the novelty of this research is this research is interesting since it identifies the metaphors in English version of a song by the South Korean girl group G Idol, which was made by one of its members, John Soyeon. And Soyeon employs the metaphors that are prevalent right now among young people in romantic relationships. Next, I move to the research questions. In the research questions, there are two questions. And the first question is, what are types of metaphors used in Hua English version song? And the last question is, what are types of meanings used by metaphors in the Hua English version song? Next, about the objectives of this research. This part is similar with the previous one, and there are two objectives of this research. The first is to identify the types of metaphors used in the Hua English version song, and the last objective is to find out the meaning used of metaphors in the Hua English version song. Next, about the significance of this research. So the significance of this research is this study aims to identify and analyze metaphors used in a song to understand their true meaning, help in using them effectively, and deepen our understanding of metaphors, making things more meaningful and unusual. Next, I move to the theoretical background part. As what you can see here, it starts from music and then figurative language, and the last is about the metaphor. I move to the theoretical framework, as what you can see here, and my main theory for this research is by Metaphor, Godley, 1997. So, next, I move to the research design part. So, in the research design, in this research, I use descriptive qualitative methods since the researcher goal is to identify the many kinds of metaphors that are in the Hua English version song. And next, I move to the source of data. Of course, in this part, we'll explain to you about how the researcher find their data and for this research, of course. And there are two types of data. And the first is the primary data, and the last is the secondary data. And for the primary data, the researcher used the album of Hua English version song, and the title of the album is I Burn, and this album have 3 versions, but the researchers have only one version, and the version that I researcher have is Fire version. And of course in the album there are like photo books, and of course the CD for listen the this song of course, and all of the tracks of the album. For the secondary data, the researcher used all of kind of the music platform that still exists right now, like YouTube, Juke, Spotify, Apple Music, and many more kind of music platforms. And the researcher also used genius.com, and for this, the researchers used genius.com for find the lyrics, the official lyrics. Next is data collection. In this part, I will explain about the steps, about step by step that I use for my research. The first step is listening to the music. Of course, because my object for my research is a song, a music. So the first thing I have to do, I need to listen to the music first. And after that, I collecting the data. The data, it means the lyrics. The lyrics that I have in Hua English version song, I collect, and after that I analyze the lyrics, the data with the theory that I used, and after that I drawing the conclusion. And for data analysis, I have 3 steps. The first is highlighting, and after that I grouping, and the last is I understanding. And the last and the final for this presentation is about references. Actually, I have more than 30. I have many references in my research, but this is the main references that I use in my presentation today. Okay, that's all from my research proposal, and that's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.